She's a clown. Let the
You
circus
a clown,
perform.
bitch. You a clown. You clowned your husband for 2 years.
And I wish you
and
would
now
tell
you
the
mad
truth
at me
about
because I
clowning
gave you
yours.
great advice. Shut
talking about what we
Shut
talked
the
about.
up. I'm gonna tell you again. I'm gonna double down on it. Shut the up again.
I'm tired of Heavenly and Contessa fighting. What y'all think? Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. This is Sammy Sampi and today we're going to talk about Married to Medicine Uranian Part 2. So we're back talking to Anila and everything that happened to her with her house, and then the ladies are talking about the profession. There is an highlight about black doctors and why it's important for the community. I really like that highlight. I always love to see those people showing us who they are, what they do. Seeing black doctors always makes me feel good. They talk about black women mortality, and ooh, this is sad. This is extremely sad. We need more black doctors. We need more people that understand us. I'm going to be honest though, even though I do think that it's important to have more black doctors, I think it's also important for the doctors that are already there to be very ethical. I had a black doctor before and it was not necessarily the best experience for me. So my view of things is kind of like a little biased because of the experiences that I've had. On one side, I do want to see more women that are black and that are doctors and men. But on the other side, I just want people in general to be good people, y'all. Hard to be reminded of the reality of the world that we live in, where people that have the color of my skin are probably not going to be treated the best. And it may not even matter that you have money. They brought up the example of Serena Williams, who we all know, and she had to deal with that same type of stuff where her own doctor did not want to listen to her and she almost died because of it. It's frightening. It's frightening. A lot of us black people, we always think that, you know what, it's probably because I don't have money that people are treating me the way they treat me. But then when you see this type of stories happening to a sister that is like multiple times a millionaire, it's frightening. Let me all know what you think about it. Then there's highlight on Miss Toya, and Miss Toya has been lonely. Miss Toya is going through things. She has been very vocal about it, and all she wanted was to get support from her friends. I feel bad for Miss Toya. It's crazy. I know in a previous review I said that it's crazy how Miss Toya has everything that she can have. She has a very good husband that does everything for her, but she's still unhappy. Part of me does understand her. My husband is not always there because of the type of career that he has, and it's not easy to always be alone, especially when you have your children that you have to take care of and everything. Sometimes you just want to have the company of your husband at all time, and not being able to get that is not easy. Luckily for Toya, I feel that her husband is hearing her and is making some changes for them to spend more time together. I hope that they're going to fix that situation and that she's not going to feel the way she feels. But we do see that she's very hurt. I think that adding on top of the rumors of her cheating is really, really hard on her. Dr. Jackie said that she wasn't aware of everything that was happening. And then they kind of had a weird back and forth where I went from understanding Toya to now be like, girl, what? So basically, Dr. Jackie explained that she was not aware of what's going on. Even if she was aware, she wouldn't have felt comfortable calling her about her marriage. But Toya is mad at Dr. Jackie because she's not calling her about her marriage. For some people, it's them if you do, them if you don't. Dr. Jackie had a terrible experiences of her own where her marriage was put on the highlight and she has been judged and berated for what she did do or what she didn't do. She almost was even blamed for the reason why her husband cheated on her. And she's reminding that to Toya. She told Toya that, you know, sometimes when I give you advice, you challenge my advice and everything. And I didn't really know how to take that. I felt like I needed an example on how Toya could challenge her advice, because a part of me feels like, you know what, sometimes you're going to give an advice to somebody and they may not be listening, and it's okay. That shouldn't bother you if someone doesn't listen to your advice. But at the same time, I do understand Dr. Jackie when she's saying, I mind my business. You know what I mean? I don't want to talk about people's marriage because people have talked about my marriage and it was hard for me. So I do not want to do that to other people. But Toya is saying that she is wired differently and that she would have loved from Dr. Jackie to reach out to her. I feel like with this group sometimes it's them if you do, them if you don't. Dr. Jackie does not just wants to mind the business that pays her, but people are willing to blame her for doing so. Talk about her moving again with her family, and all I'm going to say is that let it be a lesson for you, Toya. Don't tell people about your business no more. Like, I know it's going to be hard for you all to not explain why you change houses, but at the end of the day, that's just what you do. And maybe this is a conversation that should not be happening anymore, because at first you were moving houses and now people are using that to make fun of you. And it's true that at the end of the day, the reason why y'all like to move houses is definitely your business and nobody else. But I do feel that because you invited that in the show, that's why the conversation is still going on. Dr. Heavenly said that she thinks that it was a good move if they don't have the money. And Toya was like, who told you we don't have the money? And once again, that's true, man. We don't really know what's going on. Maybe they have problems. Maybe they don't have problems. But my question is, if they do have problems, is that something we want to laugh about though? Let's think about that. Do you want to laugh about your friends having money problem? Not really. Then we get about the whole situation of Toya potentially cheating. So that's when things get a little bit more complicated, because who did this rumor originated from? Quad said that Dr. Simone said that Toya really has been cheating, but we don't know with who. And a part of me is like, Toya, that must hurt, because I know you believe to be friend with Dr. Simone, but Dr. Simone is not really your friend if she's willing to say such a thing. And then, as your friend, her saying that is really going to make people believe that you actually did cheat on your husband. That must be really hard to swallow for you, because I know the type of respect that you have for Dr. Simone. I feel bad for Toya, I'm not going to lie. But then they're saying that originally the news originated from Anila, and basically Anila and her neighbors, they had a party, and that's where they said that Toya has been having sex with someone in the neighborhood or wherever. And Anila is trying to defend herself, talking about, no, that's not true. Remember, during the show, she said that Quad set her up by inviting her other neighbor, who is also a friend. Hey, I think that the rumor originally come from Anila and her neighbors. I think that's where the rumor came from, but now I do not understand why Dr. Simone, who is a very good friend to Toya, would perpetuate that rumor. And I also do not understand why nobody put Dr. Simone on the block. Like, why aren't we asking Dr. Simone, why are you saying that? Well, when that did come out, Dr. Simone said that she never said that. I don't know, y'all. I don't know, because Dr. Simone's name came a lot. It came with Quad, and they were supposed to be friends. So is it far-fetched to think that Dr. Simone said something about it at this point? No. Quad apologized to Toya. She said that she was mad because Toya said she was cheating, so she basically helped perpetuating the rumor. And Toya was like, yeah, but I never talked about you doing that. See, this is the thing. I feel like this is where we see that Quad does not like Toya like that. They don't like each other, and there's a lot of things going on in the background that we're just not aware of, because truly, if Toya hasn't been talking about Quad, why is Quad talking about Toya? You can use that as an excuse now. When Quad explained where the rumor came from, Anila was trying to defend herself, and honestly, it was kind of weird, the situation that they had backstage. I felt like Anila was trying to come to Quad to explain herself, and Quad was like, no girl, Something is going on there. I think that Anila and her crew started the rumor, and now she's trying to do some damage control. Quad don't care, because Anila put her on the light. So because she, did that stuff about Quad, now Quad is like, girl, man, you really did it, so I don't care. I just felt that Anila was trying very hard to make sure that Quad and her still have a friendship after that. And that makes me feel like it looks like very guilty behavior. Then we have the big fight between Dr. Contessa and Dr. Heavenly. I'm not going to lie, I have been talking about those two fighting the entire season, and I'm kind of tired about it, so I'm going to make it quick. Dr. Heavenly, stop talking about Dr. Contessa. Dr. Contessa, be real. Be real. Whenever they ask a lot of questions to Dr. Contessa about have you been dogging out your husband, talking negatively about him on TV, implying that he may have been cheating, she was like, no, 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 no. And at some point, it's like, yeah, we know you're a doctor, you know you're smart, but we're also smart. Okay? I'm not a doctor, but I'm also smart. You've said a lot of things that did not make your husband look good. And you have at some point to be able to accept that and just move on. Always trying to dog Heavenly when at some point I do think that Heavenly was a good friend to you is annoying. Heavenly, if you know Dr. Contessa and you do not see eye to eye at this point, just stop talking about her. You know what I mean? Just stop talking about her. She wants to be with her husband. Or forget what she told you. She told you you're not a friend to her, so why do you care again? Don't talk about her. That's what I have for those two. They keep on going back and forth. Honestly, that scene was annoying. Dr. Heavenly, you are too old, too educated, and too beautiful to curse so much. It's not that serious, and you know it. I know she was your friend, but girl, that does not make y'all look good. To curse that way. Child, that was too much. Going back and forth, everybody was tired. I was tired, your classmates was tired, and Angie was tired too. That needs to stop. Now then I like on Dr. Heavenly and a numerous shenanigans across the different years. And yeah, it's true, Dr. Heavenly, you don't listen, you just do what you want to do. And at some point, you're going to lose friends. Do not get there for you to change, Dr. Heavenly. Change now. I know it's a process. I know it's an habit. You've probably been doing that for like 40 years since you're like 50. So you've probably been that way for years and years, but it has not been working for you when it comes to your friendship. Everybody wants to have some solid friendship. Don't mess them up because you do not want to do better. We have the gentlemen coming in and the ladies going. See how now, before they used to have the gentlemen behind the ladies, but now they have the gentlemen on their own and the ladies are like watching them. I like that because when that happens, the conversation is not as tense. The gentlemen usually, they do a better job at dealing with conflict. So they talked about the situation between Eugene and the joke from Anila and her husband is still talking about it was a joke, and it's like, damn boy, you still didn't learn. Noticed that Dr. Eugene was very quiet and shy during that time. I wish that he gave the same energy to Anila's husband that we saw him give to Quad later down the line. That stuff wasn't funny. I agree with Dr. Eugene. It was not funny. It was funny to Anila and her husband, but at the end of the day, if everybody not laughing, maybe your joke is not that good. Point blank, period. Yeah, that's it for my review of Married to Medicine. Let me all know what you thought of it. I thought it was good, but a part of me is thinking, what are they going to talk about during part 3 now? Who knows? I feel like we've talked about everything at this point. Audra is not there because she's like 3rd trimester, so she's not going to be there. So what else are they going to talk about in part 3? I don't know, y'all. But yeah, on this note, for you, those of you that are new here, welcome. And I invite you to, and for those of you that have been here with me, supporting me, leaving me comment, thank you all so much. And I'll see you all next week. Bye.